just heading down to check out the ice on the new skating rink. I hope. That was dumb. That was dumb. Every tool's a hammer. Unless it's a screwdriver, then it's a chisel.
We need a torch. Hate that nut.
We're not doing that. Because it ain't built till it's overbuilt. Don't force it. Get a bigger hammer. Every day's a school day. Yes, it's been 2 days since we filled the hopefully alleged proposed new community skating rink with water. It's been super cold for 2 days. I checked on it once. It was about half frozen and there were no catastrophes. I'm going down there now to check on it again, and hopefully she's froze solid. I can put the lights up. That's what I'd like to get done today. My lips keep freezing. Makes it hard to talk. Hey, here we are. Guess what? The water has solidified. I'm gonna try to walk on it. I can see bubbles way down there, almost to the bottom. I think it's either solid ice or it's almost solid ice. There's no creaking and cracking. Look at that. I think it's frozen solid. I don't know if it is solid. It makes a little noise, so it's got to be moving some, right? And that has to mean there's some water on the bottom. I'll give it, yeah, you can see the bubbles moving a little bit when you get near the edge. So there is still a liquid on the bottom, but it can't be more than a half an inch or so, because when you look down, I don't know if it'll show on the camera, but there's bubbles way down. Close to the bottom, so there's got to be ice down to there. We're gonna give it a little longer. It's still plenty cold. We're still making ice, I'm sure, all day long. You know, the sun's not really shining much, and it's cold. I think it's 11 right now. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to put my lights up because I need to put my ladder on the ice, and I don't want to take a chance of doing any damage. So just got to walk away and leave it a little bit longer. So tomorrow is Christmas Eve. This has been in here 2 days, right? I'd say there's a pretty fair chance that the kids will be able to skate between Christmas and New Year's. Let's hope. All right, I got to get out of here. Just leave it alone, because if I stand here and keep staring at it, I'll end up going to work and doing something stupid and regretting it. Let's go. Back again, 1 day later, Christmas Eve. We got about 3 inches of snow last night, but there's very little on the ice, just around the edges. That's good. The wind blew that in. Hopefully it's not froze down. I doubt if it is. I'm just gonna see if it's all solid now, or if it still makes crackly sounds. I'll have to leave it alone. But if all is well, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this snow off and get my lights put up in the rafters and get all that work done, and I can pretty much be done with this thing, I believe. Let's see how she looks. Okay, we are almost in the skating business here. It still cracks a little bit sometimes when you get way out here in the center. It's not gonna do it now. Here's some. Hear it? It's not, I don't think it's a problem at all, but you know, it's Christmas Eve. I doubt people will have a lot of spare time to be using it tonight or tomorrow. So maybe the day after Christmas. The weather looks pretty good. It's supposed to get a little warmer during the day, but still plenty cold overnight, you know, in the teens. So it should be making ice even still for the next several days. I think we'll give it until the day after Christmas, and we'll tell folks they can come on out and use it. I got my lights up. See, they're just some old crappy, job site lights, but they do the job pretty well, I think. Got one bulb out. Maybe I'll replace it, and maybe I just won't, because I think that'll be plenty of light in here. And then I just ran the cord around the corner. There's an outside outlet. Folks are just going to have to plug them in when they need them and unplug them when they're done. I would hope we can rely on them to at least do that much, I think it's going to be, I'm willing to do my part, but there's going to be times when people are going to have to shovel themselves, and I think that should be okay as well. So if you're coming down here and it has snowed recently, bring a shovel with you, because you may have to clear off a little ice, and be careful around the edges. You don't have to shovel every last inch, Don't poke holes in the plastic if you can help it. Because as we get into warmer weather in the spring, it'll start doing a lot of freeze and thaw, and we don't want to lose the water when it's warm, because hopefully we get another cold snap, we can have some more skating. But, just use your head a little. I got these benches moved up so we can use them. The idea with them is you can sit, and then you can spin around and put your skates on and not have to walk on the dirt and dull your skates. We got 3 of these benches last year from my friend at High Octane Metalwork. These things are serious benches. Those are all square steel tube that he mitered all the ends and boxed them so they're all closed up. But that's not sheet metal that's hollow on the bottom. Those are heavy. In fact, the first one I thought was froze down, but it wasn't. It's just unbelievably heavy, which is good. And we got, a couple more of these I can bring over. The rumor has it we're going to be getting a bonfire ring from the same guy. I'm not sure exactly where we'll put it. Probably over there where there's a level spot, and we can put some benches around that. And then we can have bonfires at night. I'm pretty sure what you're looking at here is success. I'm kind of excited, I'm not gonna lie. After last year was such an abysmal failure, this is pretty cool. I'm thinking about building a little box I could hang on one of these posts here for donations, because it just doesn't cost a lot of money. The liner's this is a $150 liner, and like I had said before, I'm pretty sure I can get 2 years out of it, because this is half of it. The other half is in my truck still. The boards were donated, so I had to buy some rebar stakes. The liner, the fire company puts the water in for us. It doesn't cost much to keep it going, but it would be nice to have some funds, set aside ahead, because I don't want this to become a burden on the taxpayer. Let's not go down that road. Let's just keep it. I think donations can easily keep something like this going, even if we end up leveling the field. And if this gets used, I fully expect this isn't big enough, and we're going to want something bigger, which is okay. But we're going to need to level this field better than it is. So it's kind of a big project. You gotta disc all the sod up, you gotta get it level, and then you gotta get the grass growing again before soccer season comes. So it's a whole thing, It's not a so small thing, that's for sure. But it certainly could be done. So I'm thinking I may see if we can get some donations ahead and get a little slush fund, so to speak, pun intended. And maybe we can stay ahead of it, and as long as the weather is cooperative, maybe we can always have a skating rink. A lot of towns have a town skating rink. They have it every year as long as it's cold enough. In fact, I would encourage you to go ahead and do it in your little town. If you go and talk to, the town fathers, whatever they want, whatever they're called, the town board, the town council, the town, what do they call them in New England, selectmen. As long as it doesn't cost the taxpayers money, I can't see why they wouldn't love this idea. As long as they have two things, right? It comes down to is money to do it and the insurance to protect them. So as long as they have both of those things taken care of, typically a town would have insurance that would cover things like this. And as long as the money is donations, which it should not be hard to get, I would be shocked if you couldn't make this happen in any little town. That's it for me for now. I have got to, I got to unplug my lights, and then I got to get home and get ready for the church Christmas Eve service. Can't believe it's Christmas Eve already. All right, here it is, the day after Christmas. I just came down to check this out, and it looks really nice. It was a little bit warm at midday today, and it actually was enough to melt that little bit of snow that was left and really polish the top. So it looks quite nice. And I just walked all around, jumped up and down, and there's no more cracking and creaking and popping. So I think it's ice all the way to the bottom now. I had somebody who was asking a couple of questions about how they had watched the first video and didn't understand how this worked. So let me show you what I did here. Out here you can probably see it the best. Okay, so like I said, there's a 1x8 vertical board all the way around a whole perimeter, right? And then this is 1x4, so it's 1x8 ripped in half. And they're on edge. They're the strong way, right? They're strong back. And then the screws just run out from the inside into this board all the way down the line, both ways, whatever. This side is set just an inch lower than the ends so that they overlap here, and there's screws in here to tie this together to help hold this joint together. And then as you come down the side, so they end at each post. They just end there and they pick it up again here, and then they just run in between the posts. The joint in the 1x8, well, there's no joint here because I had 14-foot boards to work with, so there's no joint here. But there's a joint right in the middle between these two posts. So the joint in the 1x8 is here in the center. The joint in the strong backs, of course, is at the post. So that strong back carries that joint where the 1x8 would want to buckle. It can't because the strong back holds it straight, Under here is these are just some crap we had laying around here. Like old landscape timbers. And then that's just a piece of 1/2-inch rebar, 18 inches long, driven in the ground. And this actually didn't even get tight. That's something that I had kind of overestimated, I guess, was because I thought when you filled this thing with water, it would have pretty good amount of pressure pushing out. And it really doesn't. These things, like I say, they didn't even tighten up. I mean, the water's not very deep, so I guess it makes sense that it wouldn't really push out all that hard. It just seems like because of the gallons, it would really want to push, but I guess not so much. Another thing I was concerned with here was I didn't want this form to come out and hit the post and any chance of it pushing the post out, or moving it at all. So I took a couple pieces of 3/4-inch pipe insulation and just shoved them in there. And they were tight, a little bit. And I figured they would compress, but that would be a good cushion to keep from moving the post. But it didn't even, when I filled it, it didn't even squish them any more than they were already compressed. So it really, there's not a lot of pressure pushing out on these. I think having the strong back makes a big difference, because otherwise this board would want to bow, I mean, it seems like it would, but it really can't with that straight edge screwed on there. So that's how this thing works. If you have questions, if you want to build one, and I've done a terrible job of explaining something, which is what I do, just put it in the comments. Put your question in the comments. I always read them. This looks really great. I think it's, other than being smaller than I would like it, it's good. It's okay, though. It's not too small. And we'll see if folks use it or not. But I guess this rink is ready to use. If you're local and you want to skate, come on down and give it a try. couple of little points of interest. Number one, if you want to use the lights, I'm going to rely on you to plug them in if you need them and to unplug them when you're done. Please. If you're not staying until the end, hand that responsibility to somebody who's here who can remember to unplug the lights. And to do that, you just follow the cord. It goes around the back of the building. And all you're going to do is take this guy and plug it in to this outlet. Right? Easy peasy. A couple of other things. This building is not heated, and therefore we cannot turn the water on in the winter. So therefore the restrooms are out of order. Hopefully locked. Yes. Because I don't want nobody going in there leaving a prize that we cannot flush away. So no restrooms. There are no porta potties. If you need the facilities, you will have to go to the convenience store in town. That's the best we can do. Also, we do not have trash pickup through the winter. So do not, one garbage can is full from the fall cleanup here. Do not overfill these garbage cans. If you bring garbage, please take it home with you. Other than that, I think it's just, be commonly courteous. Be nice to each other. Don't be a jerk. Everybody get along. I think it'll be cool. Hey, just like that. So much easier and better this year. It's amazing what the weather can do for you. This thing is done and ready to use. So if you're a local or if you're in town, please come down and give it some use. Just remember, be nice. Okay, it's not that hard. Everybody can get along. A little common courtesy goes a long way. Make sure you leave the place at least as clean as you found it. If not, maybe even cleaner, right? I mean, take care of it. It's much easier to do things for your community if your community supports the things you do. You know what I mean? If this thing gets just totally trashed, well, it's going to be a pretty hard sell the next time we want to do something. People will say, why do we want to pay for that? They don't even appreciate it. So come down, enjoy, be nice. Pretty simple. I hope it gets used. I hope it gets enjoyed. There's a couple people in town who want to set up kind of like a ice skate exchange, because if you have little kids, you've got to buy new skates every year. Just about, they grow so fast. So it's kind of silly to have to buy them when other people have the ones that fit their kid last year and they don't have any use for them anymore. So that's kind of fluid. It's coming together. Okay, well, when that comes together, I'll put something on the town's Facebook page. Probably be the easiest way to get it shared out there, and you can understand how that works. I think if you have old skates that you don't need anymore, you can bring them. If you need skates, you can take them. I don't know if it'll be here or if it'll be at town hall, if it'll be during open hours only, or if it'll be just any time. I'll get that info and I'll pass it along to you. But until then, come on down. If you got skates, skate. If you don't have skates, slide around on your boots. Just have fun, If you're kids and you want to play hockey, two things. It's not really big enough for a real game of hockey. I mean, you're welcome to play hockey. But the other thing is, if there's folks here that just want to skate, you can't really play hockey and have people skating at the same time. So please be nice and let them do their skating, because it is first and foremost the community skating rink, right? Okay, that's it. That's enough of that. Please come down. Please enjoy. It is my pleasure. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.